Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs no from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple, and white, uh, 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 all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbath. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, aka Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
Right. Testing. We should be back on.
White man's the devil, the Bible speaks of. Can you hear me now, Nagabar? There you go. Excellent. All right.
What's the slight delay?
All right, let's go ahead and roll.
Where we at? Verse 20, sir?
We were at verse 20.
Come. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, and verse 20 in the Hebrew. Wayahawa. Akarbayum. Parshia. Kanapayayam. Mashinaya. Kwatazawath. Hatazaparath. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 20 in the English. And the cherubim shall stretch forth their wings on high, covering the mercy seat with their wings, and their faces shall look one to another. Towards the mercy seat shall the faces of the cherubims be.
Sound pretty fly right now, no?
Okay.
Sit in a chair like that.
Okay.
Intimidating and at the same time glorious.
And so like this is just my childhood. This is before I knew any truth or any of that.
Okay.
But when I hear this, it makes me think of Indiana Jones. If you ever watched that Indiana Jones and the lost whatever it was where they found the ark. Yeah. Okay.
Let me ask y'all this: how many of y'all would? Because the majority of you brothers, except for like Nagabar, look, a lot of you brothers that are out there are my age group. Who remembers gargoyles? Oh, yeah. That's kind of how them cherubim sound like to me. You know what I'm saying? Because the angels were not. What's the word I'm looking for? Handsome or beautiful to look. The angels were something terrible.
Right.
Yeah. The angels was something terrible. They were intimidating. They were big.
Right.
They had them wings or what have you. You know, it tells you in Ezekiel they had 4 wings each of them. You know what I'm saying? So almost tantamount to the gargoyles during the day. If you remember that cartoon,
right?
Usually during the day they would be stones,
right?
Little stone statues or whatever.
Be on top of churches.
Yeah, be on top of mainly church buildings or temples or what have you. Then as soon as the night came, they came out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what the chair sign sounds like to me.
That's the same thing that happened in Indiana Jones when they opened that ark.
Yeah.
All them angels and demons came out and started tearing their tail.
Now I only saw 2 Indiana Jones movies. And Indiana Jones kind of wore me out after a while, but I know which one you're talking about though.
I was an adventurous child, so I like.
Hey, we all were. Let me tell you something. We get the kingdom, our kids are going to be adventurous because they're not going to be dealing with the stress their parents, their parents deal with. You know, that's a hard thing for Black and Hispanic kids to have no assurance of life and then having to deal with the agony and the anguish their parents go through just to make a life for. These are problems we're not going to have in the kingdom. You understand? Everything gonna be set the way it's supposed to be. All you brothers gonna have money.
Right.
All you sisters are gonna have money, and y'all feet. It tell you in the scriptures, the Black and Hispanic women, Israelite women's, the soles of their feet wouldn't touch the ground.
Right.
It's gonna be like that for them again pretty soon.
It's a lot.
Go ahead.
But it's a sad thing because, like I said, when I was growing up, I was allowed to be a kid,
right,
for the most part,
right.
But it's a damn shame that nowadays kids can't have a childhood.
Yeah, they can't.
Where a 5 or 6-year-old is being handed a gun or handed some weight to hold because they know they're not gonna suspect them. You know what I mean? For the most part, at least that's how it started out, that they wouldn't suspect them. So they have them hold the package. You know, they get caught with it, nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got youngsters out here now.
If I see one more viral video or one of these jakes is allowing a kid to smoke weed, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
Gonna make him an addict at a young age.
These kids will shoot you.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you got a whole gun as a 9-year-old is unbelievable.
Frightening.
and they will like I've seen where a kid be like, you better move on and mean it like a grown man. Where a kid is supposed to play cops and robbers, not be cops and robbers.
Right. This kingdom is terrible. That's all I can say on that, y'all. This is a disgusting, lust-filled, sodomite kingdom, and it is devouring Black, Hispanic, and Native American people as well as the kids.
That's right.
That's why in this body, in this ISUPK, there's sanctuary. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is be willing to change and mean it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's not
you don't have to worry about no religion. All you got to do is worry about culture.
It's not a hard thing to do.
It is not a hard thing to do at all, man. All you got to do is just decide that what you were in the world, you're not going to be anymore. Y'all understand?
Right. I never have understood with, like, even with my children, when I tell them to stop and they're like, I can't. What do you mean you can't? Like, I tell you to stop, you just stop.
Yeah.
People that say I can't, that just blows my mind to me when they say, hey man, stop sinning. Well, I can't.
Damn.
What you mean you can't? So you can't do right, but you can do wrong. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I understand.
How come you can't reverse it and you can't do wrong and you can't do right? Like, this is just wild to me that you would choose the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing.
And want all the love and understanding possible, even for doing wrong. Go ahead, Doc.
Like, so you can celebrate Easter, but you can't celebrate Passover.
Yeah, explain that.
But that's Good Friday.
Yeah.
Somebody please explain to me what the hell Good Friday is.
Well, I could, but it would involve it wouldn't take a whole lot of time. It's just going over madness. You know what I'm saying?
Good Friday.
Yeah, like the Most High. I mean, like Christ passing was good. Are you kidding me?
Right. Come. I mean, that's the madness in it.
Then of course Easter is supposed to be his resurrection. Yeah, no,
with bunnies and eggs.
And you celebrate, and with Easter baskets and all colored eggs and shit. Yeah,
got your kids running around fiending for candy.
Yeah,
like it, sir. This is my thing. Why not even question it? Like, a bunny don't lay eggs. Like,
yeah.
Why you didn't question that? You know what I'm saying?
You know why you don't question it? Because ain't no money in it.
Right. Right.
There's money in all of this stuff, and because we have the love of money, it's the root of all evil.
Right.
Not to mention we lost in the sauce.
Right. Come.
But it's why we do the work. It's why we do the work, man.
Come.
This being in this ISUPK is a labor of love, man. You got to really love your people. You've got to really love Yahushua, aka Jesus Christ, and you got to really love the Heavenly Father.
Right.
Because all of us here got family members that think we crazy and whacked out our damn mind, and they gonna celebrate Easter tomorrow. They're gonna celebrate Easter even though it's not in the Bible. The one scripture where you see it in the Bible, Acts 12:4, we can easily show you that's a mistranslation.
Right.
But they don't care, man.
If I may, I can tell you, men in the UPK that you got ribs in the world or whatever family members, your family members think you're gonna have your wife and kids dressed up like a Muslim.
Right.
From head to toe, covered up.
Absolutely.
We're gonna put timing on your Wi-Fi. Man.
Right. Put timing on the Wi-Fi. But no, just real quick, we don't teach your women can't wear pants.
Right.
It's all in the spirit of how they do it. If your woman is wearing pants like a what am I looking at? Oh no, I'm too out. If your woman is wearing pants like a bulldagger, you know, she butch with it. She's got that spirit on her. You can see it. If a man, because I always question that. So when fake Israelite groups, and I just say it like that in quotes, fake Israelite groups would say, "Oh, brother, they can't wear pants and all that stuff." So go put on a pair of apple bottom jeans then. If pants are for men, wear apple bottom jeans because they're pants, right? But what we understand, what we know is it's the spirit behind it.
Right.
If a man wear a pair of jeans that have no back pockets in it, I'm gonna question you.
Right.
I am.
I'm gonna
question you. Like I was in this white man's Navy, and one of the uniforms does not have back pockets. They had to threaten me because I wouldn't put them on. It's like what kind of man wears smooth booty pants?
And you say that's in the Navy?
That's in the Navy. It's your dress blues. Your dress blues have all the buttons in the front on your pants, and you have no back pockets. And then the top is short where it comes just to the top of the pants. So you can't even put the bottom of you can't even have a long shirt to put, because that's what I would do. I said, man, I'm not wearing, like, I feel so uncomfortable in this.
Right.
It's the spirit behind it.
God.
And that's what even these fake Israelites groups have to understand when you're teaching stuff like that. It's the spirit behind it. It's not about the clothing. The clothing. Now, we don't condone a woman wearing skin tight pants either.
Right.
Like, why are you showing all of that? Especially if you got a husband.
Right.
I'm gonna question that. Because as a man, you can't help but look. I'm sorry. You can't help but look. But that's why Christ said, but you look and you think it in your head. And I'm sorry, because I'm getting off from the subject. But you thinking in your head, you know the thoughts I'm talking about that you thinking in your head. Right. Yeah, you've already done it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like our black women will say, you can't control yourself. You can't control your mind. I can somewhat control my mind, but you are throwing the temptation out there. So because you're coming out in booty shorts and everything else. So anyway, Salakia, so I start going in on the law because I teach law class.
Fortunately, because we're in the truth, we can judge so long as we judge righteous judgment. Had a sister been to Passover last week with tight pants on, I would have been pulling her, especially if her husband got less rank than me. I would have been pulling him on the side and reading him the riot act. Man. I went right in these scriptures that are about modest apparel and wore him out to the point to where he would have either checked his girl right there or checked himself or sent her back to the hotel room for real.
It's like an advertisement.
Yeah. Go ahead, Doctor.
Like, sir, what is the standard for modesty? Because I know, like, the way I see certain things, right, I have a certain, I don't believe that's modest. Well, I don't believe, or that's modest, So what is that, standard that we, should go by, in this instances?
Well, I'll just make it easy for you, Trooper Goodall Ahmad. You got a rib, right? So whatever you tell her to wear, that's what you wear. And I ain't saying you got to be an ogre about it or be, beastly about it, but let her know, hey, if you mind and you under my protection, this is how you're gonna be dressing, just to relieve stress from the family. You know what I'm saying? In the spirit of keeping the law.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you tell her, if she look good in them shorts, but in them pants, but they real tight, she can't wear them. Get rid of them. I don't ever want to see you in them. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, it's like your rib comes out and you look at her and you're like, I don't know about that. If you got to say that, then that's not, you know what I'm saying? That because of you.
You got to ass pass.
Right. Right.
Oh,
If I may, sir, and to follow on that, and are we to hold our brothers accountable to that same standard?
How you mean? Explain a little bit.
Yeah, like let's say my woman, tries to leave the house a certain way where I don't approve,
Right.
and I correct her about it,
Right.
right? But then I see another brother's wife dressing the same way.
Check him.
Do I correct my brother and hold him accountable?
Right.
Yeah, especially if he's ranked, especially if he isn't ranked as high as you. You check him immediately.
Right.
Now, if he is ranked higher than you, you have to change the way you tell him. But you be like, I don't want. Hey, I mean, that sister is not supposed to be leaving there. It says in the scriptures she's be dressed in modest apparel. That's 1 Timothy 2 and ain't that 2 and 9? 1 Timothy 2 and 9. Get one of y'all to look that up real quick. 1 Timothy 2 and 9. She's supposed to be dressing in modest apparel, but now if you hold rank over him, you let him know. You bring that correction pretty damn sharp, so then he can go and correct her.
Right.
1 Timothy 2 and 9. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
In what?
In modest apparel.
All right then.
With shamefacedness and sobriety, not with embroidered hair, gold, pearls, or costly array.
In other words, ladies, don't be doing the most.
Right.
Quit dressing the way you see the Eve in the world dress.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to have y'all dressed and acting like these old trollops out here that are in the industry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
None of us want to be married to a Glorilla or Sukihana or so-called Sexy Red or who else? Ice Spice. No, nothing. The way they carry themselves, we don't want that here. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like that, you just going on somewhere. You got a real boo, you married into the world, you come to the truth and she ain't ready to change yet. Not saying kick her out necessarily just yet, but start making plans. Start spending your time with a woman that will get right. She'll get the message. She'll either get the message or she'll get gone. You win either way. Because 1 Corinthians tells you what to do in the house with the unbeliever. You know what I'm saying? I think that's for the 7th chapter in 1 Corinthians. So,
and if I may,
go ahead.
At the same time, you cannot be the husband that's you can't be controlling your wife and then you go around back and smoke a square.
Right.
Damn. You
see what I'm saying? You can't be telling your wife, oh, you can't do this, can't do that. Now you done got drunk in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, I went down on the corner with the brothers. Oh, I just took a couple of hits of the weed.
Yeah.
Hypocrisy.
I didn't really smoke. I just kind of got a secondhand contact,
Or Salakia, or I done started my own fake Israelite group and I'm telling everybody to get right. All the while I'm tricking off the money that they send for tithes, and I'm sleeping with my wife's sister, and I got another wife pegging me in the behind with a fake dildo.
Yeah. But at the same time too, another thing, you can't have that authority over your wife and you not taking care of the home.
Right.
Like your bills not getting paid. You're not helping with the kids as far as like discipline and stuff like that. You on one end of this, you're not balancing. You're not balancing. It's the same with entering the truth. You can't come into the truth and you are everything here in the UPK, but then you go home and your home's in a disarray.
Right.
You can't have one or the other. You can't be an Israelite here and then not be an Israelite at home. You're an Israelite when you wake up till you go to sleep, till the day you die.
24/7, 365.
So that's why it's like when we say like fake Israelite groups, because a lot of these people, or they're pagan kids. But then you want to get online and talk about how we should be. And so you can't be one here, one there. And the Lord says you either hot or cold. You can't be lukewarm, and He's gonna spit you out.
That's right.
So you can't even ride the fence.
Right.
So you can't. When people like Christians say, I'm a good person. How? How are you a good person?
Right.
Because when I bring up the law, you reject the law. So that's the same as my kids telling me, Daddy, I'm not gonna do anything you say. I'm gonna say, get the F out of my house, then.
Right.
And well, you don't love me. No, you don't love me.
Right.
That's just gonna be the end of it. You can't have it. It's not. This ain't Burger King. You know what I mean? The Lord say you gonna have it my way or no way.
Right.
Salaki, I'm done.
Keep the commandments and live. Don't keep them and die. It's just that simple. Don't y'all love the way the Lord deals?
Right.
They say all the time we don't have free will. Yes, you do. You can choose to live or you can choose to die.
That's right. Come. That's your only choice.
We are in verse 22, are we not, or in 23?
20. Should I put the mercy? I believe we're in 21. Should I put the mercy up? Yeah, Comic Con. I believe we're in 21.
We're gonna try to get this chapter in, y'all. Go ahead.
Verse 21 or verse
21. Go ahead.
Just 21. Comic Con. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 21 in the Hebrew. Wanathath, Hakabarath, Haran, Malama'ila, Wa'al, Haran, Tatan, Hadath, Amala, Sakakayam, Bakanapa Yaham, Al, Hakaparath, Wapana Yaham, Ayash, Al, Akayawa, Al, Hakaparath, Yahweh, Hakaparath, Taishawa, Ath, Hakarayam, Hakarayabam, Salaki, Hakarabayam, Al, Shanaya, Kotaza Watayawa. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 21 in the English. And thou shalt put the mercy seat above upon the ark, and in the ark thou shalt put the testimony that I shall give thee.
All right, so let's get 22.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 22 in the Hebrew. Wana Yawai Yadath. Salaki, let me do that. Wana Wadataya Laka Shema Wadabarathaya Athak Mala Hakaparath Mabayan Shania Banya Hakarabayam. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 22 in the English. And there I will meet with thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat, from between the two cherubims, which are upon the ark of the testimony, of all things which I will give thee in commandment unto the children of Israel.
Sound like an altar, doesn't it? Absolutely. Verse 23.
This book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 23 in the Hebrew.
Starting to sweat like crazy.
Wayashayath, Shalakan, Ataziyah, Shatayam, Amatayam, Arakawa, Wa'ama, Wakabawa, Wa'ama, Wakatazayah, Kumatawa. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 23 in the English. Thou shalt also make a table of chittim wood. 2 cubits shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half the height thereof.
This is some perfect. This is some perfect. What do they call them brothers who make art?
Designer?
No.
Architect?
Yeah.
I think it's architecture.
No, an architect is somebody who writes down plans. Yeah,
right.
But this is what they call perfect.
Oh, wait, like an engineer?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's a good word for it. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll settle for that.
oh.
The water
I
priest.
can't think of anything else.
I'm losing the one I'm with. For y'all that don't know, I'm kind of under the weather right now. I'm kind of soldering on. It's a little hot in here, but I'll be all right.
Sounds to me like Isupk. Isupk is some great builders. So,
well, we happen to have an Issacarite in the room. What is that called?
say she don't know.
He don't know.
He like, man, we just build. I mean, we just build it. We don't.
I'm saying, shit. Most High in Christ. But let's get verse 24 and 25 out of the show.
Kind of this book of Exodus, chapter 25, verses 24 and 25 in the Hebrew. Wataza po Yayath, Atawa, Zahab, Tahawar, Washayath, Lawa, Zar, Zahab, Tabiyah, verse 25. Wayashiath, Lawa, Masagarath, Tapak, verse 26. Wayashayath, Lawa, Arabad, Tabath, Zahab, Wanathath. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verses. I lost my place.
24 and 25.
24, 25, and 26.
No, just 24 and 25.
24 and 25. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, and make thereto a crown of gold round about. Verse 25. And thou shalt make unto it a border of a hand breadth round about, and thou shalt make a golden crown to the border thereof round about.
This is awesome. Little altar and the damn table coming together pretty damn tight, man.
That's right.
Let's get 26.
Book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 26 in the Hebrew. Wayeshayath, Lawa, Arabai, Taba'ath, Zahab, Wanathath. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 26 in the English. And thou shalt make for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings in the 4 corners that are on the 4 feet thereof.
All right, verse 27.
Book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 27 in the Hebrew. Lamath, Hamasagarath, Tahayayan, Sabayab, Washiyath, Zar, Zahab, Lamasagarathawa, Sabayab. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 27 in the English. Over against the border shall the rings be for places of the staves to bear the table.
28.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 28 in the Hebrew. Wayashayath, Oth, Habadiyam, Ataziyah, Shatayam, Oth, Hataba'ath, Allah, Arabai, Hapa'ath, Ashar, Larabai, Ragalaywa. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 28 in the English. And thou shalt make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, that the table may be borne with them.
All right, so it's basically he's basically going over his altar, his table, his chair, which I guess would be the throne technically, where the priest would sit. It's doing a hell of a job just putting together a temple, basically.
Right.
Artistry, tapestry, all that is all natural to Israel because we've always had the tools. The Most High gives it to us. You know what I'm saying? He tells you he wants it 3 cubits. 3 cubits are long, two cubits high, two more in volume or what have you. Everything according to order, you know what I'm saying? So we automatically know how to build a temple. All right, next verse.
He building the ark, huh? Building the ark.
Yeah, he had Noah. It's building the Ark of the Covenant, but let's go back to the original ark, the one Noah built. All that was perfect instruction being followed out, and that was righteous.
I don't even think they had any kind of nails or anything in it. All of it just fit together.
Come on.
But you got to be pretty tough to do that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you got to be pretty tough to do that. You know, actually, they're trying to do that now.
What's that?
If you look at some of the commercials for furniture and stuff like that, they're acting like it's a new thing where they're setting it all together and it connects all together. That ain't nothing new under the sun.
Exactly.
So
lucky. We the trendsetters.
Right.
That's right.
We're
the salt of the earth.
Right. So verse 29.
We are in verse 29 and 30.
And 30. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 29 and 30 in the Hebrew. Wayeshayaf, Kwaratha Yawa, Wakapath Yawa, Wakwash what the Yawa, Hataba'at, Labatayam, Tabarayam, Lasha'af, Ath, Hashalakan. Verse 30. Wanataf, Al, Hashalakan, Lakam, Watazapan Yath, Atam, Zahab, Wanasha'ah, Bama, Ath, Hashalakan. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 29 and 30 in the English. And thou shalt make the dishes thereof, and spoons thereof, and covers thereof, and bowls thereof, to cover withal. Of pure gold shalt thou make them. Verse 30. And thou shalt set upon the table showbread before me always.
We do that here. You know what I'm saying? Normally we have bread here, not necessarily showbread every week. Normally we just have fresh baked bread. We're in the Feast of Unleavened Bread right now. That's why we have the unleavened bread this week. But everything we do in the school goes back to these scriptures. You get some people saying that there's no science or mathematics in the scripture. That's all we dealt with this chapter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all we dealt with this chapter. If you're like me and you have a precept book of science and math scriptures, you pretty much put the whole Exodus 25th chapter in that, in that part of the book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get a lot of that madness from the conscious community. Where's the science and the mathematics in the Bible? Of course, they never read it, so they never know where to find it.
That's because they got to believe in something they can see and touch.
Yeah, they're as long as they teach that the Bible is a white man's book, they ain't gonna ever get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Most High, I say the water the Most High was showing me a long time ago. This was our book. You know what I'm saying? I may not have been in the truth at that time when that was revealed to me,
right.
But once I saw that this was our book, right. I didn't have any use for the conscious community anymore.
Right.
Because it was them, the number ones people telling you the Bible is the white man's book.
Right.
Yet every time when I open a book, this particular book, this King James version, I'm seeing niggas everywhere.
Right.
Black men and black women.
Right.
When I was in the church, I couldn't read this book very easily. Like I read it, it ain't really, you know what I mean? Like I would get caught up in it. Like I ain't understand a lot of it,
right?
And stuff like that. But when my coattail got pulled, that this was written by niggas, and you got to read it that way. And it's like this book has been so easy to read and understand. Right. It all just makes sense when you start reading it. You're like, oh, okay. So that's what that was, and this was that, and all this time I've been making because you read it from when you're in church, you read it from thou art such a noble, and you read it from that old English knights and swords and stuff like that, and so you're like, right, and so your mind is like, you got to have some kind of different understanding,
right,
rather than the understanding of the world you living in.
That's right.
I'm living in the world of this.
That's right.
And so now I'm putting it together like I'm not sleep like I'm sleep. I'm sleep because I don't know nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's just different. And I literally was asleep reading the book because I was reading it from a perspective of a people that's not a people,
Right.
rather than reading it from the people that is me.
If I can, Trooper Gadal Ahmad, get me St. John 4:24 real quick. This is building on exactly what Officer Lamawad is talking about. This is why we were in the church our whole lives, and we were treating this as if it was the stuff of myth and legend. We couldn't relate to it. We couldn't understand it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We knew in the back of our mind, we knew we had to be there. We knew that it was that there was a God in heaven. We knew all that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you did
St. John
4:24. You didn't have the overall understanding, and without the overall understanding, you're just gonna get lost in it.
You're gonna get lost in the sauce.
Here's the scripture to bring that out.
John chapter 4, verse 24. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Spirit and in what?
Spirit and in truth.
When we were in the church, you didn't have the truth.
That's right.
The truth, either the church either don't know the truth or they know it and suppress it for money.
Right.
We know that now. Everybody that's in there knows that now.
Right.
Right.
Reading this, one of the things that I remember Commanding General Yana telling everybody, you have got to put yourself in this book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The school is called for universal practical knowledge for a reason, because everything that's in this book, in this record, written thousands of years ago originally, can be used for our edification right now and our betterment right now. You know what I'm saying? Even brothers that weren't in the truth knew, like Khalid Muhammad was one of them, that knew that this Bible was the key to our salvation.
Right.
You Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you have got to put yourself in the scriptures and apply it to what we're going through today. Once you do that, it's real easy to read. Once you have the Holy Spirit, you know that Christ and the Israelites were black people. You know that you're not African. You know that the Edomites were the so-called white people and that they're the devil. And you know the other nations, you know the other tribes, and it becomes real easy to understand this book after that.
Right.
Y'all understand?
Right.
Because that's how it was for me. I always had the book, but always read it as if it was a fairy tale in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It wasn't until I found out that this was our book,
Right.
and that our history is actually in it, it all began to make sense.
Right. Okay.
And the Most High has been showing me the truth for the last 13 years through the ISUPK.
Mark 4 and chapter 4 verse 12.
Go ahead and read it.
Mark 4 chapter 4 verse 12. That seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand, lest at any time they should be converted and their sins should be forgiven.
That's a pretty solid precept.
Well,
kind of goes into once you have the ears to hear this word, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You start to make changes. You start you start viewing the world differently, and you start viewing you and your people differently.
Right.
How many of all of us that were in this truth kind of had a screwed up view, a janky view of so-called Blacks and Hispanics before that?
I did.
Hmm?
My mom thought I was gonna marry an Isupk. So I don't know.
All right, well.
My little league football team, our quarterback was a Mexican.
Okay.
Yeah, and him and his brother, they was twins, and they had cousins that play, so they stayed right around the corner.
Right.
But we used to go down to their house all the time, so I never looked at Mexicans like any.
Right.
I'm saying just you had a janky view of your people as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
So like basically like we'll never get our shit together.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
I've had those thoughts. But
We all have.
well, I just never could understand. I was, you know, like I never wanted to fight any of my people, even though I get in fights.
Right.
You know, and I didn't like I would rather fight a white boy. You know what I mean? And I couldn't understand why my own kind is doing stuff like putting a stick on your shoulder. I bet you won't knock it off. Stupid stuff like that.
Right.
Just to start a fight. It wasn't about the stick. It wasn't about if you were scared to do it. It was they just wanted to see a fight between us.
Christian in spirit. Yeah.
I never could understand that. Why you don't go put the stick on the white boy's shoulder? And there's somebody knock it off. Why you don't go put it on the Asian boy's shoulder? And then why you want to see us fighting out? I never could understand that.
Like what's going on now? That brother Big U getting ready to be charged because he's been extorting brothers up there in LA. I asked myself when that story broke, I'm like, did they ever make Bruce Willis check in?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Or Brad Pitt?
Right.
I mean, right there in LA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell, the mayor.
The
mayor.
Yeah. That's what,
Right.
but still, that's even more evil. Why would you do that to your people, knowing your people are oppressed?
It's wild. If I could, real quick, going back what you said, and I don't know if this is Lord put it on my mind, but I can only say as much. As soon as I was gonna say it, the feed goes down. Okay, so Christian church is the pharmaceutical company. Right? Why I say that? Because they sell you treatments, a pill to get from when you go to church on Sunday, it's a prosperity motivational doctrine.
Right.
To get you from Sunday to Sunday. Right. Because you've been slaving all week, you're tired, you're worn out. Now they come in on Sunday, give you this doctrine of prosperity, this doctrine of motivation to get your money. So now you can make it another week. Just like you take a pill that never cures it, it treats it. But you still sick. You got to keep taking these drugs. You got to keep paying this money to keep taking these drugs. But the ISUPK and this Bible and the truth is the cure.
Right.
It's the cure to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right. To stop having to go through all of the curses that we go through all the time and keep repeating them. Because that's all we do. We repeat it over and over. You die, you come back. You repeat it again. You die, you come back. You repeat it again. But some of us have now caught on to the truth. So now we can get the cure and not die and not repeat it.
Yeah, right.
Not have to deal with all of that again. So when you die, you come back into an Israelite family that knows they're an Israelite family, that's keeping the laws, that from you being a baby, teaching you the laws, keeping them, and now you are born in the spirit.
That's right.
And you live within the spirit, and you're one with the spirit. You're one with Yahweh Shai. You're one with Yahweh.
That's right.
And then you'll teach your kids, and then it'll grow, and it'll grow, and it'll grow, and then finally those clouds are gonna crack open.
That's right.
And Yahweh Shai is gonna come, and it's gonna be a dark day. But for us, it's going to be glorious.
And right.
So that's what came to mind when you were talking earlier. So I just had to get it off my chest.
Absolutely. We're gonna try to go ahead and get finished. Where are we now?
Oh God.
We're at 31.
Oh God.
Appreciate it, sis. We're gonna try to get these last 9 scriptures down.
Come on. You just want 31, sir?
Yeah, give me 31 and 32.
Come on. It's book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 31 and 32 in the Hebrew. Vayishayav, Manarath, Zahab, Tawar, Makashah, Tayashah, Hamanawar, Iraka, Wamanakwata Slakia, Wanamakwe Yatayawa, Ashar, Yasak, Bahan, Zahab, Tawar, Tasha, Atham, it's 32, Washasha, Kwanayam, Yatazayam, Mataza Daya, Panyam, Lapanya, Tamayad. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 31 and 32 in the English. And thou shalt make a candlestick of pure gold. Of beaten work shall the candlestick be made. His shaft and his branches, his bowls, his knops, and his flowers shall be of the same. Verse 32. And 6 branches.
Where are you at, Art?
I'm in verse 32.
Which chapter?
Chapter 25.
Okay, go ahead and roll it again.
Verse 30. You want me to start back at 31?
32.
32. Come. And 6 branches shall come out of the sides of it. 3 branches. Come. We stopped at 30, and thou shalt set upon the table showbread before me always.
Okay. What's on Christ? Go ahead.
Come. And 6 branches shall come out of the sides of it. 3 branches of the candlestick out of the one side, and 3 branches of the candlestick out of the other side.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get verse 32.
33.
33. Yeah.
Come. So book of Exodus chapter 25, verse 33 in the Hebrew. Shalashah, Gabayam, Wakana, Gabayat, Salaki. Gabayaya, Kapatoraya, Wapakaya, Mamana, Yahweh. So book of Exodus chapter 25, verse 33 in the English. 3 bowls made like unto almonds, with a knop and a flower in one branch, and 3 bowls made like almonds in the other branch, with a knop and a flower. So in the 6 branches that come out of the candlestick.
So we got the menorah being made right now.
Right.
Go ahead, verse 34 and 35.
Kind of the one kind. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and 35 in the Hebrew. Baba Mana Yara, Arabah, Gabayam, Mashakwa Yam, Mashakwadayam, Bakuna, Hakad, Kapatar, Waparak, Washalas Shah, Gabayam, Mashakwadayam, Bakuna, Hakad, Kapatar, Shalashah, Kwanaya, Manara, Matazada, Hakad, Washalasha, Kwanaya, Manara, Matazada, Hashanaya. Verse 34. So like it. Verse 35. Wakaparat, so like it. Wakapatar, Takath, Manaya, Hakwanayam, Mamana, Wakapatar, Takath, Manya, Hakwanyan, Waparak, Khan, Lashashath, Hakwanayam, Hayatazayam, Man, Hanara. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 34 and 35. I'm sorry, did you want 36, sir?
34 and 35.
Khan. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 34 and 35 in the English. And in the candlestick shall be 4 bowls made like unto almonds, with their knops and their flowers. Verse 35. And there shall be a knop under 2 branches of this same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches that proceed out of the candlestick.
Okay, we're looking at we got a couple of candlesticks here, and as Priest and Officer Nakabar Gabar pointed out, knops underneath. You know what I'm saying? Right there. There you go. It's all right, Grace.
These are the knops.
Huh. Excellent. All right. Shalom, sis. Let's go ahead and get I'm gonna go ahead to verse 36 and 37.
God out of one kind. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verses 36 and 37 in the Hebrew. Kapathoraya Yaham Wakanatham Mamana Yahweh Kala Makosha Akath Zahab Tahawar, or 37. Wayashayat Oth Mamana Wakapathar Takath Shinaya Hakwanayam Mamana Lashashath Hakwanayam Hayatazayam Man Hamanara. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verses 36 37 in the English. Their knops and their branches shall be of the same. All it shall be one beaten work of pure gold. Verse 37. And thou shalt make the 7 lamps thereof, and they shall light the lamps thereof, that they may give light over against it.
Now, of course, Israel being Israel, we're gonna be a little fly now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh man, we're gonna go all out now. Nowadays, nowadays you might see a brother with a candlestick. I mean, with a big menorah outside his house, lit up at night. You know what I'm saying? The tallest candle will be the one in the middle, of course, right, as it's supposed to be, and he got them boys on lit up.
Right.
Because that's just how Israel is. We're gonna always do the most.
Right.
Just because it's us. It fits us. We are a peculiar people, just like the scriptures say. You know what I'm saying? Right. Brother and sister here, you mess around, get a house and some land. It's gonna be a 7-branch menorah, bigger than just about any menorah you've seen.
Right.
Either in his backyard or right in his front yard. Me personally, I would put it in my backyard. I don't want nobody touching it.
If he got in the kingdom, he got a gate that leads to the driveway up to his house. The gate, it looks like a menorah.
You know
what I'm saying? Open up like
absolutely.
Made of pure gold.
Pure gold.
Pure gold. My cane Corsos to get all though.
I'm saying. You say your cane Corsos get all.
God. Oh, I have about 10 of them. Shoot, if I got land like that.
Let me ask y'all, which dog is probably the best guard dog?
That's
we want.
What he said.
Cane Corso?
Well, they are. But then you got other ones like a Burble. You got some other killers out there. It is. There are some giants out there. That's what I'll say.
It's dogs bigger than wolves, man.
Yeah.
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 German Shepherds ain't that big though.
I think the biggest one is in Russia or something like that. It's like a big shaggy. It looks almost like a big, huge chow.
Okay, well, while I'm going on, because when I leave here, I'm going home. I'm probably gonna go back to sleep because I've been missing sleep ever since Atlanta. Probably why I don't feel good now. I'm gonna do a deep dive into the dogs real quick. Anyway, let's go on in and get done, y'all.
But I like cane Corsos because I love pit bulls.
Right.
And cane Corso is like a Great Dane pit bull. You know what I mean? So that But anyway,
that pit he got at home right now is awesome. I like it. I like him. But anyway, let's get Exodus 25th chapter. We're gonna get the last 3 verses of this chapter, and then we're gonna go ahead and pray out. We'll see y'all next Sabbath. All right. All right, we're going to get Exodus 25, 38 through 40.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verses 38 through 40 in the Hebrew. Wamalakwakak, Salaki. Wamalakwakaya. Wamakathaya. Verse 39. Kakar, Zahab, Tahawar, Yasha, Atha, Oth, Kal, Hakal, Salaki, Hakalayam, Hala, verse 40. Wara'ah, Washa, Batabanyan Yatam, Ashar, Atha, Mara'ah, Bahar. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verses 38 through 40. And the tongues thereof and the snoodishes thereof shall be of pure gold.
Salaki, I think that's snuff dishes.
Salaki, snuff dishes.
Yeah.
Thereof.
Anybody want to look that up? Go ahead.
Sound like that's your tobacco holder.
Come on.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need edification. So I don't want to lead people still doing their 90 days down a bad road. That's what I'm asking.
What they call it? Tobacco is my snuff.
Come on. Go ahead, good Alama. Go ahead.
Snuff dishes were trays or small dishes used in the tabernacle and temple to hold the burnt wicks of lamps.
Okay, Most High in Christ. I get that. All right. So
Okay.
yeah. So tobacco is still a sin, y'all.
Right. So it's like an incense holder.
Come.
Okay. Verse 39. Of a talent of pure gold shall he make it with all these vessels. Verse 40. And look that thou make them after their pattern, which was showed thee in the mount.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and wrap the Sabbath service. We'll go ahead and pray out. We'll do we'll be in chapter 26 next week. So you all that are watching online, keep paying your tithes and your goodwill offerings. Shalom and Kwam Yashala to you. So I take the water to the Most High, the water to our King Yahushua, aka Jesus Christ, and big up the Commander General Yohana for just keeping this troop going, man. We're gonna go ahead and pray out. Get that rest so I can feel better for tomorrow.
The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Bashaman. Dash. Ayah. Shakah. Yahweh. Malakka. Taba'ah. Watzka. Ayah. Ashah. Maratza. Kawa. Ayah. Bashaman. Nathaniel. Come. Call. The woman. Wasalakno. Kawawabno. Kasalakno. Kawawabno. Wala'ah. Tabayanao. Wanasa one. Ball. Habashanawa. Mayan. Ra. Kaya. Ka. Amalakwa. Watabarat. Lavalam. Aman. Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And give us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. The power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushua. Nathaniel. Hakak. Baba'ah. Makal. Madadal. Hakak. Batahar. Matzoriyam. Hakak. Lakwayam. Amatyam. Hakak. Arakawat. Hatama'ala,
Hatama'ala,
Gash,
Lagash,
Bashim,
Bashem,
Yahushua,
Yahushua,
the water,
the water,
Amen. The power in English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua.
Yahweh in the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
Power to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Go ahead and rap.
Shalom, Israel.